Today I wanted to talk briefly about using the Apple Watch to track my exercise. Before I had an Apple Watch, I had a Fitbit, and I had no complaints about the Fitbit when it comes to exercise. I mainly bought the Apple Watch for the phone features, but I do think it does an excellent job of tracking my exercise and my heart rate. I also love some of its other heart-related features, such as checking the rhythm and my blood oxygenation, but I don't use those a lot, so they're just a neat trick. I know they were working on one that will track blood sugar, but it seems like they're still a couple of years away on that. One of my favorite Apple Watch features is the Active Calorie tracking. I like that it gives an overall view of how active I am in a day. For example, I can look back at last March, just after I got out of the hospital, and see days where I only got 300 to 400 active calories. I can also see that by September, I was back to about 600 active calories a day. That's still low, but showing some improvement. I really wasn't exercising, but I was at least moving around by that point. Since the beginning of this year, I've been working to get 1,000 active calories a day, and looking at my spreadsheet, I can see that I've been averaging about 1,075 calories a day. That means I'm burning almost twice as much as I was before. Apple allows you to track this by setting a move goal. My move goal is 1,000 active calories a day. I also have an exercise goal of 60 minutes a day. The exercise goal is easy for me to beat because I walk over an hour a day, usually closer to an hour and a half. This is so I can reach my step goal of 10,000, although in actuality I'm getting around 13,000 steps a day. You can set these goals however you want. Even after I started the health journey, I still had my goal set at 800 calories and 25 minutes of exercise. I only recently changed that to reflect my true goals. Apple tracks these goals using rings. That's why you may sometimes hear about my goal of closing my rings. The thing to remember about Apple Watch and most other fitness watches is that they're never going to be 100% accurate. I don't know for sure that the reported 1,000 active calories is truly 1,000. For example, if I did any exercise that didn't particularly involve my wrist, it's unlikely to get counted. But if I just wave my wrist back and forth a bit, it's going to think I'm being active even if the rest of my body isn't involved. What I do know is that 1,000 active calories reflects a significant increase in my exercise from what I was averaging before. If I was averaging 600 active calories before and now I'm at 1,075, I can be pretty sure I've made a dramatic increase in my activity. Speaking of active calories, yesterday I managed 1,027 active calories and 13,272 steps. It was a busy day, as all Saturdays seem to be, so I'm happy to hit those numbers. I also weighed in at 307.1 pounds, a full pound drop from yesterday. That puts my total for the week at 2.5 pounds, which I'm pretty happy with. 307 is also the weight I was when I first found out I had cancer, so getting back to that weight is a nice little milestone for me. My blood sugar this morning was a record low for the year at just 90. I think I can give some of that credit to the fact that I had a fairly low calorie count yesterday at 1,687. I also don't think I ate anything after about 7 o'clock last night. I've been feeling pretty good the past couple of days. I still have some tightness in my back and some foot and knee pain, but they aren't at a level high enough to distract me. That's all I have to say today. I'll leave you with my Terry Pratchett quote of the day. This one is from his book, Making Money. People don't like change, but make the change fast enough and you go from one type of normal to another. That's it for today. Please like, please subscribe, please comment. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.